10 ways to stop Nosy.
Every monster has a weakness, or at least...
Chat, how would y'all stop Nosy?
That's what we tell ourselves so we can sleep at night. But what if the thing we're facing wasn't born, but built? What if it doesn't bleed, doesn't breathe, doesn't stop? That's the nightmare of Nosy, Citra's monstrous project of metal and wires. People keep...
How would y'all stop it? Fart on it? Bro, I don't think farting on it's a good idea, man. It's a clanker. 50 kilograms of TNT? Yeah, that'll do it.
Keep asking the same desperate question. If Nosy really escapes, how can we survive?
Good question.
Tonight, we'll explore 10 chilling, desperate ways people believe might stop Nosy.
Okay.
They're not guaranteed. Some are barely even possible.
Okay.
But when you're staring into those glowing eyes at your window, you'll cling to any chance you can find.
Okay.
Way 1, electric traps. Nosy runs on circuits, metal, wires, servos. Electricity is its lifeblood. But here's the twist. Electricity is also its poison. If you set up high voltage traps around your property, you might be able to fry its systems long enough to escape. Think electrified fences, car batteries wired to door handles.
I don't think that would work. I don't think that'd work, chat. I don't think that would work.
Or even crude shock spears made from cattle prods. But here's the terrifying part. Citra designed Nosy to be resistant. This isn't a weak little gadget that shorts out in the rain. Nosy's body is layered, armored, insulated. An average household jolt...
Push it off a cliff? How you gonna push it off a cliff? It weighs like 300 pounds.
Won't even make it flinch. You'd need something powerful.
500 pounds.
Something industrial. That means you'd be standing dangerously close, wiring your own house like a death trap, praying the thing touches it. And if it doesn't, if it learns to avoid the electricity, then all you've done is cage yourself inside a trap of your own making, while Nosy waits silently just beyond the wires.
Okay, chat. W or L idea? Electric fence. W or L idea? I'm going to say L idea.
Way 2, EMP devices. An electro...
Yeah, let me go buy an EMP device on Amazon real quick. Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me just load up Amazon and buy an EMP. Yeah, okay.
Magnetic pulse, the supposed kill switch for machines. In theory, one good blast, and Nosy collapses like a puppet with its strings cut.
Chat, it's not behind me, chat. It's not behind me.
But there's a problem. EMP devices aren't lying around on Amazon. Building one requires knowledge, parts, and extreme risk. Even then, you'd have to be within range. Are you willing to carry a bomb-sized machine on your back while stalking a 10-foot monster?
No.
And here's what's even worse. Some claim Citra knew this weakness and prepared for it. Rumors spread that Nosy's frame is shielded, wrapped in layers that make EMPs less effective, meaning you'd risk everything for a chance that might not even work. Imagine triggering it, watching the pulse ripple out, and Nosy doesn't fall.
Yo, Melissa. Thank you, Melissa.
It just tilts its head, those glowing eyes fixed on you, as if to say, nice try. That's when you realize EMPs might not be our salvation. They might be our false hope. Way 3.
Yeah. Way 3. Flamethrower. Okay, so I think a flamethrower would probably work. I think a flamethrower would probably work, and I'm pretty sure you can buy a flamethrower on Amazon. Yeah, Sonny, it's fixed. It's fixed. I'm pretty sure you can buy one on Amazon.
Fire has always been mankind's weapon against the dark.
Oh, a firefighter. Never mind.
Against predators, against monsters.
It's fireproof.
Could it work on Nosy? Flames might damage sensors, burn through wiring, melt joints. In theory, yes. But again, fire consumes slowly, and Nosy doesn't move slowly. If you tried to ignite it with Molotovs or flamethrowers, you'd have to get close, dangerously close.
Oh, yeah.
And think about the risk.
Yeah.
It doesn't scream. It doesn't retreat. It just walks straight through the fire, reaching with those giant arms. If it grabs you while burning, you'll be the one reduced to ash before the machine even stumbles. And what happens if fire doesn't work? Then you've lit your own house, your own shelter, on fire. The one thing protecting you becomes another weapon against you. Fire might weaken Nosy, but you'll have to decide
And what if it picked up the flamethrower?
who burns
And now it's got a flamethrower.
faster, you or the machine. Way 4, freezing. If heat can't stop it, maybe the opposite can. Extreme cold has the power to freeze metal, stiffen joints, and slow machinery. Industrial freezers, liquid nitrogen, even traps in winter storms.
You know what? That's true. It worked on Megatron. It worked on Megatron. It'd probably work on Nosy. You know what I mean?
Could work, but you'd need massive amounts of cold to actually make a difference. Nosy isn't a car engine you can stall. It's a moving fortress. And Citra might have planned for this too. Heavy hydraulics, sealed casings, antifreeze fluids, all designed to keep it moving no matter the temperature.
David, you just joined. What are we watching? So we're learning how to stop Nosy in case we get attacked by Nosy the animatronic. This one TikToker from Florida is building a 10-foot tall killer animatronic, and we're learning how to stop him. Okay.
Still, the idea is haunting. If you could lure it into the right place, freeze it solid, you might buy time. But just imagine standing there, frost filling the air, watching as cracks spread across the ice, hearing the snap of metal shifting beneath the surface, the frozen giant opening its glowing eyes again.
What about a sword?
Cold doesn't kill it, it only makes it hungrier. Way 5, trapping it underground.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, trapping it underground. That's a really good idea. That's what we did to my great-grandma. We trapped her underground. That's a good idea.
Some monsters can't be killed, only buried. If you can't destroy Nosy, maybe you can trap it. Sinkholes, collapsing buildings, sealed basements. Lure it in, then cage it beneath tons of concrete and steel.
Yeah, chat. I got it. Here's what you do. You lure it into a tunnel, and then you have the tunnel be lined with explosives like dynamite or TNT. And then whenever it's in the tunnel, you blow the explosives, which collapses the tunnel on top of it. So that way it would literally be collapsed in the ground.
But here's the nightmare. Nosy isn't human. It doesn't need air. It doesn't suffocate. It waits. You might bury it for a week, a month, a year, and then one night the ground shudders. The walls crack. It claws its way back out. Imagine living with that knowledge, that beneath your feet, somewhere deep underground, it's still there. Silent, patient, waiting for the day it digs free. You might buy yourself time, but you won't buy safety. The earth itself won't hold Nosy forever. Way 6, blinding its sensors. What if you can't overpower it, but you can confuse it? Nosy's eyes, or whatever those glowing orbs are, must guide it somehow. Smoke bombs, mirrors, blinding lasers, even paint. Anything to distort its vision.
That's true. What if you put like a bucket on his head? Would I beat it in a fight? No.
If you could blind Nosy, you could run. But here's the danger. It doesn't rely only on vision. Think about it. A machine built to stalk, to hunt, wouldn't just stop if its eyes went dark. What if it can hear better than we can? What if it tracks heat, motion, vibrations? Blinding its sensors might not stop it. It might only make it angry. Imagine standing in a cloud of smoke, thinking you've escaped, when suddenly the smoke parts. Nosy is already there, standing silently, because it doesn't need eyes to find you. Way 7, dismemberment, a terrifying idea, taking Nosy apart piece by piece.
How you gonna do that if it's trying to kill you?
It's too powerful as a whole. Maybe its arms, legs, or joints can be destroyed. Explosives at the knees, saws at the elbows, heavy machinery tearing at the
We would need someone to sacrifice themselves. We'd need a sacrifice. That's what we would need. We need a sacrifice, chat.
frame. But that means getting close enough to fight it directly. Do you realize how impossible that sounds? One swing of those mechanical arms, and your body would break like glass. And even if you succeed in severing a limb, what then? Nosy doesn't bleed. It doesn't collapse in pain. It keeps going. Maybe slower, maybe crawling, but still hunting, like some grotesque spider dragging itself forward. Cutting it apart doesn't stop it. It only makes it uglier. Way 8, turning Nosy against itself.
I don't think we should build a Terminator.
Machines can be hacked, corrupted, tricked. Some believe the only way to beat Nosy is to reprogram it, to turn its own strength back on itself.
Chat, anybody here know how to hack a robot? JKTTC, I will look at that in a bit, man. Somebody's building an Iron Man suit.
But think about what that means.
Who's building an Iron Man suit? We'll look at it.
Would have to get close enough, plug in, access its brain. And who even understands that brain? Citra built it. He knows the code. We don't. Maybe there is no code, not in the way we imagine. Maybe Nosy doesn't follow commands anymore. Maybe it's already beyond programming, running on something far stranger. Still, imagine if you succeeded. Imagine Nosy turning on its master. For a moment, humanity would be safe. But here's
why didn't you play Garten of Banban 5? There is no Garten of Banban 5.
the problem. Once you unleash something like that, you don't control it. You've just unleashed chaos.
How would it stay charged? Maybe it's got like solar panels. Or maybe after it breaks into your house and kills you, it plugs itself in. It's like, let me just plug myself in and charge real quick.
On both sides. Way 9, sacrifice.
What?
This one is the most horrifying of all. Some believe the only way to stop Nosy is not through force, but through distraction, giving it something it wants more. If Nosy is drawn to movement, heat, or life itself, then one person could lure it away while the rest escape. But think about that. You're standing in the dark, alone, knowing you're the bait. Every step you take, it follows. Every breath, every heartbeat, drawing it closer. You don't get to win. You don't get to survive. You only buy time for others. And the thought that one day someone might have to volunteer
Somebody should make a Nosy game on Roblox.
is enough to freeze the blood in your veins. Nosy doesn't just take your life, it takes your choice. Way 10, destruction of Citra's workshop. If Nosy can't be killed, maybe its creator can. Destroying Citra's workshop might be the only way to end the cycle. Burn it down, collapse it, reduce every tool, every blueprint, every secret to ash. But what if it's too late? What if Nosy is already gone? Destroying the birthplace doesn't destroy the creature. It just destroys the only place
It has
that might hold the key to
echolocation?
stopping it. And worse, what if Citra isn't finished? What if there are more machines hidden deep in the shadows of that workshop?
Bro, you go into his house and there's just like 5 animatronics.
Nosy might just be the first. By striking against Citra, you might unleash something even darker, even stronger. And when the smoke clears, you'll realize you didn't end the nightmare. You only tore off its mask. 10 ways to stop Nosy, and none of them are guaranteed. That's the real terror.